against Stockport County, plus the goals from the 3 ties played last night when Wimbledon put out the holders and secured a place in the last 8. And I'm delighted to welcome an ex-Wimbledon player and now Chelsea captain, Dennis Wise, to the programme. And Dennis, really, a win in this round, it means a quarter-final place and players beginning to really sniff Wembley.
Yeah, I think once they get to this stage, they realise that there's a possibility of going all the way. And I'm sure at the moment, Wimbledon are the ones that are thinking that. And I hopefully wish them all the best.
Vinnie Jones is definitely thinking that way, isn't it?
Yes, I'm sure he is, yeah.
OK. Well, Anfield first then, the clash of 2 recent winners of the Coca-Cola Cup. Liverpool victorious the season before last, Arsenal in '93. They're also 3rd and 2nd respectively in the Premiership just now. Commentary comes from Clive Tyldesley.
2 drawn games here at Anfield in the last week are all that it's taken for Roy Evans to make significant changes to the Liverpool lineup. Patrick Berger has spent most of the last month on the substitutes bench, but that is the haunt tonight of Stan Collymore, Jamie Redknapp and Dominic Matteo, all dropped. The return of Steve McManaman, who scored twice against Arsenal here in the opening week of the season, is the real bonus for Liverpool. Berger and McManaman will support Robbie Fowler. Phil Babb takes over from Matteo at the back. John Hartson's in the Arsenal starting lineup. Dennis Bergkamp, whose talent and technique eventually swung the North London derby on Sunday, has failed the fitness test. It's an otherwise unchanged Arsenal team, one that many expected Arsene Wenger to quickly set about breaking up. Instead, he's handing out improved pay deals and contract extensions to many of his senior players, and there are plenty of them. 8 of that lineup are 30-somethings. In charge tonight, Alan Wilkie. It's billing fit for a final. 2 of the top 3 teams in the country at present in the first big cup collision of the season. Hartson, who was a very late selection for Arsenal tonight, unable to link up with Merson. McAteer slipping. Since Arsenal's defeat here in the opening week of the season, they've been beaten just once in domestic football. It's very nearly a year since Liverpool were beaten at Anfield when Newcastle put them out of this competition in this round last season. Adams to Platt. Adams already striding forward but being caught in possession by Björneby. McManaman to Barnes, all gloved up on a cold, clear night. And all shaken up is Robbie Fowler, and there's an early yellow card on the way here for Steve Bold. Less than a minute played. A long night ahead of the Arsenal number 5. They can't afford to misbehave again. He caught Fowler from behind. Fowler, who scored hat-tricks against Arsenal on this ground in each of the last 2 seasons. It's Ruddock's strike. That wasn't a million miles away. It was very nearly a million miles an hour. Lukic seemed a little unsighted and was almost caught a little unprepared. It's a blinding strike from Neil Ruddock. 1 defeat in 8 games is Arsene Wenger's record. As Arsenal manager, he's brought a new stability after a rather tormented 2-month period in which Bruce Rioch and Stuart Hewson and Pat Rice all had charge of the team. Ruddock under pressure from Hartson, and he's lost the ball to the young Welsh forward, and he goes down on a James' challenge, and that's a penalty. The foul by David James, the crucial mistake by Neil Ruddock. Referee has got his notebook out. A yellow card for James, a rather red face for Ruddock. Just lost the ball under his feet. Hartson was gone. Well, there was certainly contact. But Hartson rather ran against James. 12 minutes played. Ian Wright, who scored a penalty at the Cop End last season, has scored another. Arsenal lead. Ian Wright's tally for the season is 17, and a terrific early tonic for the visitors. James sent the wrong way. McAteer. Bold, the defender. Losing his feet, but not before the ball across the dead ball line for a Liverpool corner. Mark Wright and Neil Ruddock forward from the back. Short for Berger. Well driven, hit the post and came out. Well, he curses his luck. John Lukic will probably feel that he was owed that, because against Tottenham at the weekend, Andy Sinton's shot hit the post, hit the back of Lukic and went in. That time, he hit the post and came out just. Burnaby. Fowler, well gathered, came off bold. Lukic under pressure from McAteer, holds on. Did really well to claim the cross, giving away a few pounds in weight to Steve Bowl, but the big centre-half blocked out the light. Platt. Oh, Ruddock didn't clear it. This is Ian Wright. Straight at James. Ruddock almost had another heavy price to pay for a slip. Miscued his volleyed clearance from Platt's. His headed clearance, I should say, from Platt's volleyed cross. The Wright's volley was directly at the man in green. Barnes under pressure from Platt. Somehow Ruddock and Barnes managed to sort it out. Barnes. Keown ahead of Berger. Run back well by Fowler. Berger poked into the path of Burnaby. McManaman is there, and McManaman has equalised. A headed goal from Steve McManaman squares it up. From an excellent cross from Stig Burnaby. There have been so many of those this season. What there haven't been in the history of Liverpool Football Club are too many Steve McManaman headed goals. He'll have enjoyed that. It was well executed. Left Lukic stranded. And an arrowed cross from Burnaby. Well directed. Just inside the post. The Arsenal lead lasted 13 minutes. Barnes just picking his way through the minefield. Fowler to Thomas. Now Burnaby. Delightful Liverpool build-up so far. Fowler, no flag. Oh! Well, there was no response from the referee's assistant on the near side when the ball was swung in. I can't believe they were onside. It doesn't matter anyway. McManaman tossed in towards Fowler. Lukic committed. Down goes Fowler. Nothing doing. Corner kick. Every member of the Liverpool coaching staff on their feet. Wondering why we haven't got the game's second penalty. Now there's a shout against Dixon, and that will be a penalty. Handball against Dixon, and it was the man with the flag on the near side who signalled to Alan Wilkie that he thought Dixon had handled it. Mike Stoddart, the referee's assistant, to give him his official title, was certainly the jury, if not the judge in that instance. Well, how much real intent was there on Lee Dixon's part? Fowler gives Liverpool the lead. Lukic goes the wrong way. Liverpool go in front. Rolled in by the scourge of Arsenal, Robbie Fowler. '97 career goals now, Robbie Fowler. Caught in possession there, angry he didn't get a free kick. McManaman. Well, sometimes these heavyweight contests can be all muscle and no memorable moments, but Ian Wright scored early enough to open the game up, really. Nobody has won the League Cup competition more times than Liverpool. 4 in a row during the early 80s, then a 5th success against Bolton Wanderers last year. Arsenal have won it twice, the first against Liverpool in 1987, that marked the start of the George Graham Trophy collection. The second in 93, and since then, in the 3 seasons since then, Arsenal have gone out to the eventual winners each year, so there's an omen. But they're not out by a long chalk as yet. Still bout for Liverpool. Here's Patrick Berger. Played by Martin Keown. John Barnes. Berger. Thomas, who was a part of that 1987 success for Arsenal. Roy Evans won this trophy in his first full season in charge. Not even Bob Paisley won a trophy for Liverpool in his first full season, but nothing last season. Arsenal just unable to really make their presence felt in the key areas of the field at present. Players like Merson and Vieira have been on the fringe of things so far. He has an excuse, in so much that he is suffering with a stomach bug. Run off the ball that time by Berger. McAteer. McManaman. McAteer. Fowler has to be. Lovely Liverpool goal. They have some clear breathing space. Made by Jason McAteer and scored gleefully by Robbie Fowler. He's on a hat-trick again against Arsenal. Liverpool's passing has been excellent for the majority of the night. Fowler just sneaked beyond the last defender. Arsenal had their arms raised. Well, we've seen that before, and we've seen Robbie Fowler score over and over again. Mark Wright on Ian Wright. Yellow card has been given to Steve Bold here, and he's off. It's his second of the night. I suspect for dissent. Alan Wilkie has dismissed the Arsenal number 5, who was booked inside the first minute of the game. And now, with well over half an hour of the game still remaining, is dismissed. The first Arsenal player to be red-carded for nearly a year. Steve McManaman was fouled in the build-up to the last Liverpool attack by Steve Bold. And that certainly looks like a yellow card offence. The referee played an advantage then, but it was an awful long time after that before Bold was red-carded. I think he probably said something. McManaman. McAteer. Platt was the man in the way. Arsenal defence rather besieged. Berger came off Lukic. It's Fowler. Offside. Offside when Berger hit the shot, that is, because it came back off Lukic to Fowler. Not by much. It's Keown who just stepped up and caught him. Merson. Now, was Mark Wright climbing on John Hartson? Yes, he was. The referee has given the penalty. And an invitation to Arsenal to get back into this game. It was straightforward, 1 against 1, Mark Wright against John Hartson. Wright got off the ground first, but his arms were all over Hartson's shoulders. Still a quarter of this match remaining. The two central figures discuss the decision. The spotlight turns on Ian Wright again, and he scored again. It's 3-2. Once again, David James was sent the wrong way. Ian Wright now, goal a game in League Cup competition for Arsenal. 28 goals in 28 ties. Closing in on the Arsenal record of Cliff Bastin and closing in on Liverpool. 3-2. Vieira. Now McAteer to McManaman. It was a loose one from Vieira. Berger. Oh yes! Pick that out. Patrick Berger makes it 4-2 to Liverpool. And has probably ended the Arsenal revival. It flew in. Well, he's had a month of frustration, Patrick Berger, and he got a lot of it out of his system with that one. Recalled from the substitutes bench after a 25-minute run out against Wimbledon on Saturday, and justifying his recall completely there. Paul Merson and Nigel Winterburn are being replaced by Steve Morrow and Ray Parlour.
Number 15 is Ray Parlour, number 18 is Steve Morrow.
Thomas under pressure from Vieira has given it away. Ruddock came across, and then there were some afters between Monsieur Vieira and Mr. Ruddock. Foul to McManaman. McAteer. 4 up in support. Liverpool still chasing goals. Nobody more ravenously than Fowler, but the ball would just beat him out of play. He actually scored a hat-trick here against Arsenal a couple of seasons back in under 5 minutes. He didn't get a hat-trick of hat-tricks tonight, but he's contributed to a good Liverpool win. They had to come from behind. They had to survive a brief Arsenal comeback in the second half. They had the benefit of a very harsh penalty decision given against Lee Dixon at a crucial time. But nobody could doubt that Liverpool were the better team, that they were better than they've been of late, and that they remain one of the most dangerous forces in the quarter-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup. They won.
Too unhappy, I don't think, there, Dennis, really. Arsenal got off to an encouraging start, didn't they, with the penalty, obviously. But at 1-1, we had a controversial refereeing decision, which I think probably changed the game a little bit. It involved Lee Dixon.
Yeah, it did change the game. It was the penalty incident, and I just felt the ball's going away from goal, and Lee's tried to put his arm down, and I thought it was a terrible decision by the referee.
He's not seeking to gain an advantage there, is he, really?
No, it isn't as if he's crossing the ball and he puts his hand out. It's going out of the box anyway.
Yeah, but Robbie Fowler touched it away happily enough there.
Yes, it was a good penalty by Robbie, and I think they needed it at the time, Liverpool.
Yes, and then it was at 3-1 to Liverpool that we had yet another refereeing decision. And what are your views on this? Because this was 2 bookable offences on Steve Bold. This is the first minute of the game, isn't it?
This was very early. You can get away with it a little bit. He's tried to go for the ball, yet there's nothing malicious about it.
But it is a foul, that.
It's a foul, yes, but it's the first minute of the game, and you know, he's got to go 89 minutes now without tackling someone.
Now, the one where really it ended Arsenal's hopes, this decision.
Yes, this was a poor tackle by Steve. I'm sure he knows it, but the referee hasn't helped him out. They're 3-1 down at the time, and I don't think if he uses a bit of common sense, I don't think he deserved fully on the 2 tackles. He's probably made 2 tackles from behind all night and got sent off.
Yeah, they got back into it with 3-2. Just a word about Ian Wright, because that's 18 goals this season. Yes,
it's great for Wright. He's done magnificent, and he always will do magnificent. He's a natural goal scorer. And he's a lovely man as well, but it showed a lot of bottle to him as well. You know, with the second penalty, he knew he had to score it, and he tucked it away.
But the game was wrapped up with probably the best goal of the game at Anfield, Patrick Berger's strike.
Yes,
You'll appreciate this one.
This was a great strike, yeah, by Patrick Berger. He done one of them in the first half as well and hit the post, and this one crept in. He was unsighted, John Lukage, and it was just a great strike, and there's nothing he could do about that.
Liverpool 7-4 favourites.
Yes, they're looking very good at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, as always. Thanks, Dennis, for the moment. Well, it was always going to be a huge test, of course, for Arsenal tonight. Likewise for Tottenham Hotspur, who are away to First Division leaders Bolton, a packed Burnham Park. John Helm, your commentator.
Burnham Park has become a fortress this season, and these fans are used to the sight of big clubs coming a cropper here. Liverpool, Arsenal and Villa among them, to say nothing of Chelsea in the last round. John Sheridan has been a League Cup winner, striking the Wembley goal by which Sheffield Wednesday beat Manchester United in 1991, and he's been granted permission to play for Bolton while on loan from Wednesday. Colin Todd has an abundance of riches to choose from, especially in midfield, so there's no room for recently acquired Jamie Pollock. McGinley and Blake are the sharpest shooters in Division 1, with 26 goals between them already. Chris Armstrong has happy recent memories of this ground. He struck the winner in Spurs' 3-2 triumph in March. He was once a striking partner for McGinley at Millwall. Just one change made by Jerry Francis after Sunday's defeat. Alan Nielsen picked up a knee injury. Jason Dizelle takes over in the centre of midfield. And Teddy Sheringham starts the night, having already scored 19 goals in the competition. I don't know if Tottenham regard this as a good omen, but Paul Danson from Leicester was in charge of their second round tie against Preston, which they won 3-0 at White Hart Lane. And Jerry Francis has said in the build-up to this match that the Coca-Cola Cup has become vital to their season. It's probably Spurs' likeliest option of a route into Europe. They're currently in 9th place in the Premier League. Bolton, top of Division 1, of course. And with a wonderful record here of 10 wins and 2 draws and not a single defeat. In fact, Southampton were the last side to win here in the last Premier League game in the season which Bolton were relegated. Here is David Lee. And the first free kick awarded against Darren Anderton. Jerry Francis on the left of the picture there, on the extreme end next to Roger Cross. Game is all about pace. Combating on that occasion, throwing for Bolton Wanderers. Phillips into Blake. This is where Blake is dangerous. Turns his man superbly, whips it across, and it comes off the defender and out for the corner for Bolton, the first of the night. He's so sharp on the turn, the Welsh international. And when the ball is knocked into him here by Phillips, look how he turns around Calderwood, but Campbell is in the way. Bolton send up both the centre-backs here, Taggart and Fairclough, to supplement the aerial power of Blake and McGinley. And it's in here, and it's Taggart, and it's in from McGinley! And Bolton in front. John McGinley yet again, he can do no wrong at the moment. So a rich ovation around Burnham Park, and what a fillip for the First Division side. The perfect corner kick taken by Scott Sellers. The first person to go for it was Taggart. McGinley perfectly stationed, thank you very much. It's a well-manoeuvred corner kick. Taggart might well have scored. McGinley made sure. A rather scything challenge this time. It's Fairclough. And the former Spurs defender, Chris Fairclough, was rather irate, obviously, there, and yet he was clearly the offender on Armstrong. Now let's have a look and see what incensed him so much. He clearly went through Armstrong. So Wilson knocking it up towards Sheringham. Well, it was Fairclough, ironically, who got it away, but there was a handball on the just outside the area by Sheridan. So Tottenham with a chance here, having had virtually no opportunities beforehand. Just as it comes out here, look at Sheridan, looking on the top of the shoulder, really. He feels a little aggrieved by the decision, but Mr. Danson was in good position. The thing is now that Bolton have pulled everybody behind the ball, all 11. Sheringham we've seen curl them in from this sort of range before. Had a little dummy run. Well, how Spurs could do with an equaliser, and it will have been gifted to them if they get it. Is that wall 10 yards away, I ask myself. Anyway, it's going to be Sheringham, and he gets it through, and it's a goal! Beautifully executed, Teddy Sheringham. What a classic strike from the England man. And Sheringham strikes and does it again for Spurs, as he's done so often. As it just clipped off the top of the head, but it scarcely deflected the ball. And it's a perfect free kick from Sheringham, 1-1. There's Scott Sellers, picks it up. Sheridan, two former Leeds players playing together. Here's another one in Fairclough. Bergson is the former Spur, of course. Touched on by Lee. He evaded Wilson's challenge, and here's Lee again. He's promised much tonight and still not able quite to deliver, but he does get the shot on the mark. Walker spreading himself well. And the referee's coming in for a bit of stick at the moment, but we see that Lee shot again, which was well covered by Walker. I think the crowd felt that Lee had been hacked down a moment or two earlier and that Bolton should have had a free kick. So Bolton back in possession. By general consent, Bolton have been the most impressive side in the First Division this season. They've already scored 42 goals. It took them until March last season to get that many, and they've won themselves a corner out of Wilson's back header. And Sellers, they've scored from one of his corners, but that's not a great one. They can have another go. Maybe third time lucky for Sellers. This time it's a better delivery. Oh, he's struggling his walk up again. To take advantage. And Bolton back in front with this redoubtable Scott. What a hero this man is to Bolton fans. But Ian Walker rather flapped at this one. He's the culprit, you have to say. Taggart put him off. McGinley's there to punish him again. So both goals for Bolton have come from Sellers corners, with Taggart instrumental and with the execution of McGinley. Well, he's got a great record in this competition, John McGinley, but a disconsolate Ian Walker, who knows that he allowed Taggart to distract him. Free kick against Anderton. Well, they've only got Blake and McGinley up on the edge of the area, so no point in just hitting hopeful long balls up there. It's not the Bolton style, nor was that really. And that's the end of a rip-roaring first half. If anyone should be thinking that Bolton were the underdogs for this tie as a First Division side, they should remember it's only last year, just 18 months ago, that they reached the final and lost 2-1 at Wembley to Liverpool. So we start the second half without any substitutions. Wilson forward, well met by Fairclough, and then Anderton knocks the ball here for Howells, and the clip is straight into Brannigan's arms. To Blake. This is where he loves to attack from, and he'll hit a shot too, and it's a good one. It steeples over the top of the crossbar, but that's typical Nathan Blake. Very left-footed, loves to have a crack. And there was nothing else in his mind here but to try and add to his goal tally for the season. Trying to repel this Spurs raid now, and it produces a corner. They're only 2-1 behind, remember, and they have this corner. Can they do to Bolton what the Lancashire side did to them? Well, not for the time being. The ball's still with Spurs and with Wilson. Rides the challenge well, Sinton. Here's the cross, straight forward header. What a miss, Jason Dizelle. Virtually the whole net to aim at, and Jason Dizelle puts it wide. Well, what an agonising miss this is for Spurs, and I wonder at the end of the night if it will prove to be so costly for them. What a chance for Dizelle, what a miss. Phillips. Sellers for McGinley, on towards play. Still McGinley. Excellent skill from the Scot. He's here again. There's the ball in. The clinical finisher for number 3. McGinley had worked so hard and they swap roles. Taggart the scorer, McGinley the provider, and who rises to meet the cross for the big Irishman? What can Tottenham produce by way of response? Anderton wins a corner. Can Calderwood do to Bolton what Taggart did to Tottenham? Anderton with the corner kick. How Tottenham need a swift response. It's away, scramble off the line, and back in and over the top. It was Howells who put in the initial effort, and Campbell was up there trying for the finish, for the coup de grace, but Anderton's corner was a good one. There was Howells' effort. Back off the line to Campbell, who hooks it just over. Good effort though from Sol Campbell. Bolton in consummate control and rolling the ball in here for Nathan Blake. They're hoping for a fourth. He cuts it in. McGinley on the charge, and it was just too far ahead. Penalty's given though. Penalty given. Carr protests his innocence, but Bolton have a chance to wrap it all up here now. Well, Blake had rolled the ball across. Carr's the defender coming in with McGinley. Well, McGinley wasn't going to get there, and Mr. Danson says that that's a push. Well, Carr feels badly done to, and John McGinley has the chance of striking a hat-trick. If this goes in, I fancy Bolton going to the last 8. They're surely going through now. Hat-trick for John McGinley. Well, they love their team here. They've conquered so many of the big guns, and I think you can add the name of Tottenham Hotspur to the list now. Smacked into the corner, it's the perfect penalty. And it's the perfect night for him too. That's not a bad ball, but Sinton will be beaten to it by Bergson. I'm sure he's revelled in it, the Bolton captain, against his old club. Oh, now for Sheridan. McGinley surging through the middle. Sheridan instead pops it into Blake. The only amazing thing is Blake hasn't scored yet. He has now. 5 for Bolton. Walker beaten again. And it really is a night of sheer delight for Bolton Wanderers. They have destroyed the Premier League side, and Blake so deserves his goal. Wrapped into the corner, and that's a striker's finish. His 13th of the season, but it's a lucky 13. And Bolton are embarrassing Tottenham. And now Bolton will aim to make this triple substitution. And what a roar there will be for the retreating heroes, who include the hat-trick man McGinley. He's certainly done his job. So has Thompson here. Sheridan is the other withdrawn player. There's Branson. Signed from Copenhagen. Scott Taylor, former Millwall player, and Andy Todd, son of the manager. So the family having a great night. Hasn't finished yet either. Bexon doesn't believe it, but it is against him. And that's why Sinton looked like 6 or 1.5 a dozen of the other, but there was definitely a foul somewhere there. There goes Branson now. Just knocked it too far ahead of himself, but it's picked up again. Todd into Blake, who's led the line superbly, really has. Lee just able to keep the ball in play. Swings it in here. Could be done. Might still be there all over the place. He's only been on the field for 60 seconds, and Scott Taylor wraps in another one. That's 6. Well, he's a London boy, signed from Millwall, and up here last year he scored twice for Millwall against Everton. Tonight he's been on the field 60 seconds. He gets the bounce of the ball off Carr, wraps it through the legs of Ian Walker, and Scott Taylor has completed Spurs' humiliation. Fortune certainly favoured him, but he took it, and it's 6. And Lee wants to take on Wilson. He cuts it back in here. Taylor controls it on the edge of the 6-yard area. Will come back here, and it nearly went flashing in again as Todd got in the shot. He's a dead ringer for his dad, isn't he? And he was who got the shot in to win the corner. David Lee on the outside of Wilson cuts the ball back in here. Taylor controls it, and under duress from the 2 defenders knocks it back to Todd, and it flew out off Carr. It's gone in. Surely that went all the way in, didn't it? It looked to me as though that ball crossed the line, and if it has, it's a goal for Scott Sellers on his birthday, but the referee says not. Well, should it have been 7? Sellers' ball here, and it's there. Oh, I would have thought that's over the line. And indeed, Tottenham retreat to the sanctuary of their dressing room, slaughtered here by irresistible Bolton, led by their star Scot again, John McGinley, who's plundered a hat-trick against the Premier League side. And Jerry Taggart was a real force that they never managed to counteract, and he got a deserved goal as well. Nathan Blake helped himself to one, and even the substitute Scott Taylor got one as well. A night for those young fans to remember for the rest of their lives, because they have destroyed Tottenham Hotspur. It's Bolton 6, Tottenham 1.
Fourth round ties to reflect, starting with another of our local sides, West Ham, at home to Stockport.
And now wide for Lazaridis, wanting to take on his fullback. He looks to have done well. Decent cross. Cool defending from County. But it was. They're still not cleared it, and it needed the goalkeeper to intervene in the end. They made a real meal of it, the second division side, having looked to have cleared the danger. Flick was from Dowie, and it's over the top from Dowie. Dear oh dear, he had 2 goes at it. Well, one by Potts. And now Dix. Not a bad ball. Dowie made something of it. Chance here for Radicchio! 1-0 West Ham. A sweet goal, a sweet touch from Dowie. And Radicchio, only his third start of the season, did superbly to turn it past Jones. That's a quality finish. Dix will bring it away for West Ham, and he showed too much of it to Kavecko there, and he can't take liberties with this boy. No liberties at all. It's 1-1, and just 5 minutes into the second half, Stockport have got level. The substitute, Lewis Kavecko, his first goal, and it was all self-made. He took the ball from Dix, who tried to run it out of defence. Hughes. Still Hughes. Dix, left foot. Good try. 8 minutes to get a second goal if they want to win this at the first time of asking. Not a bad touch. Lampard still. Well, it would have been a fairy tale if it had gone in.
Corner kick. Vickers up there. Beck, Emerson. Beck jumping for it. Didn't reach Juninho. It's not clear. Turned in there. It's a goal. It's Derek White, the skipper, and Middlesbrough have taken the lead. They just couldn't get it away. Fighting by Vickers, and it was his central defensive partner, Derek White, who was up there to turn it in. Gillespie with this corner to the final minutes of the opening 45. Albert is up there. It's a goal, and it's Shearer, and it's 1-1, and he's done it again. Fine delivery there from Gillespie into the back of the net. Juninho's got a yard or two, and he goes past Albert. Here's Juninho to Ravanelli, to Beck. Great goal for Borough. It's Nickelbeck. It's 2-1. Juninho, the creator. Ravanelli knew what it was all about, and Beck was in there before Cernicek. Buster out wide. Controlled finish this by Middlesbrough. Here's Juninho. Still with a little Brazilian. Into the middle. It's all over now. And it's Fabrizio Ravanelli. It's 3-1. It's good night, Newcastle. What a night for the Borough. They're going absolutely wild at the Riverside. Ravanelli, the man in the middle, the man on target.
Up ahead of Walsh, the Pryor. They do seem to be first to the ball so often, Leicester City. But so far without reward in terms of goals. Alex Ferguson, the League Cup winner with United back in '92. There's Heskey, it's a clever layoff, back it in! Black Claridge! Now they have their reward.
Lovely goal this, isn't it? A super goal. What a beautiful flick that. And that's a super strike.
Heskey. Neil Lennon is down injured at the moment. He's just back on his feet now. But there's Roy Keane, who lost his balance but was being held down, and it's a penalty.
I'm really not too sure about this.
Well, Lawrence did appear to tug him. Great opportunity here for Scholes. And he's missed it. Yeah, mild. Julian Watts on the near post. Liverpool to Heskey! 2-0.
Well, just over the last couple of minutes, it looked as though it was coming again, and come it does. Thumped in, isn't it?
Having shocked Coventry, this was not the glamorous money spinner Gillingham wanted. But last night, 6,000 supporters followed them to Suffolk. If only Craig Armstrong's shot had dipped just under the bar. Instead, Ipswich's young attack conjured the only goal 17 minutes from the end, with Gillingham still pressing. The Dutchman Gus Uhlenbeek sped away, and teenager Richard Naylor provided the Knights' only real moment of quality. First Division Oxford were optimistic. They'd already knocked out Sheffield Wednesday. Their home record has been excellent. But Southampton survived the early barrage before Richard Dryden surprised everyone, especially himself, with a spectacular goal. And they protected that lead until the very last minute, with the Southampton fans crying out for the final whistle. Paul Moody, who began his career at the Dell, swooped to score a deserved equaliser and take the tie to a replay. It was avoiding relegation. Now Wimbledon's target is a place in Europe, and winning the Coca-Cola Cup is the realistic shortcut. Aston Villa started better, only for Marcus Gale to catch them out. Steve Staunton couldn't get in the tackle. Michael Oakes couldn't stop Gale's shot. The holders had their moments, but they couldn't find the cutting edge to go with some decent approach play. And Neil Sullivan in the Wimbledon goal stopped everything that came his way. So the crazy gang are now just 2 rounds away from Wembley.
Well, Wimbledon's reward, not exactly a great one, away to Bolton, conquerors of Chelsea, and of course tonight against Spurs. But here is the full draw for you. Ipswich Town versus Leicester City. Middlesbrough versus Liverpool, that's the tie of the round, all right. Another cracker, Bolton versus Wimbledon. And lastly, West Ham United or Stockport versus Southampton or Oxford. Now, Dennis, Harry Redknapp was very angry tonight with his side to let that slip away against Stockport. He felt they should have won the game.
Yeah, I'm sure he's very disappointed about it, the way the goal was given away. You know, it was nicked off of Julian Dix, and I'm sure Julian would be disappointed about it, and they tucked it away nicely.
Yeah. He did tuck it away nicely. I mean, Julian Dix here should have got rid of it, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he was messing about, and he's nicked it off of him, but there's still a long way to go, you know. There's 2 defenders, and he tucked it away.
Louis Cavaco, the lad's name. He
tucked it away very well, and now they've got a hard task going to Stockport.
Let's concentrate on your old side. You went to the FA Cup final with them in 1988 against Liverpool, the greatest shock, I think, of all time, that one. But they're now 5-1, Wimbledon.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be looking forward to it. I'm sure that they'll want a Liverpool-Wimbledon final as well, and maybe they can do it again. They're looking very strong at the moment, and I do wish them all the best, and I hope Vinny does get there again in the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, apart from my just saying that it was 5-1, I mean, the amazing thing, I know you were saying to me earlier, they started the season with, was it 2 or 3 defeats, and now it's 16 without defeats?
Yeah, they got beat in the first 3 games, and I was speaking to Dean Olsworth before that as well, and he said we've got a hard start, and they got beat in the first 3, but after that they're unbeaten for 16 games.
What about the Bolton game?
It's going to be a very tough game for them. I think they know it, but I think they're capable of going up there and beating them. They'll defend very well, better than Tottenham did tonight on set pieces, and I feel that they will cause Bolton a few problems on set pieces as well, you know.
And Newcastle and Manchester United, they're also out, but Leicester City tonight, on this programme, Dennis, we like to pick out a goal of the night, and you and I have decided that the one is the Leicester goal, the Steve Claridge goal.
It was a great goal. This was a great touch. If it was a Brazilian, Italian, everyone else that was world class, but this was world class. What he done, Heskey here, that was beautiful, and it was a great strike by Steve Claridge. To be honest, I'd hope that the goal of the season so far. The goals that I've seen.
The young lad Heskey, he's one of the finds of the season, really.
Yes, he is. I think he's only 19, 20. He's played under 21 now, and he's just signed a new contract there, and I'm sure they're pleased the way he's been performing. And there'll be a few clubs after him in a couple of years' time. Man
United really are concentrating on the Champions League, aren't they? It was
yes, it seemed like that. But you always want to win games. I don't care what anyone says. I'm sure they've got their mind on the Champions League though as well after tonight.
Last thing, Dennis, the Borough-Liverpool tie, that is the one of the round, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Brian Robson wouldn't have been too happy about that draw, but he's got it. A good thing about it is that they've got him at home, and I think that's a good advantage to Middlesbrough.
Okay, Dennis, it's been a great pleasure having you with me
Pleasure.
tonight. Thanks very much. Just time to tell you of two other results this evening. In the First Division, it finished Manchester City 3, West Bromwich Albion 2. And in an FA Cup first-round replay, Cheltenham 1, Peterborough 3, that was after extra time. Now, ITV's coverage of the Champions League group stages climaxes in Vienna next Wednesday. I hope you'll join me live from the Ernst Happel Stadium at 7:20 for Rapid Vienna versus Manchester United. The match United mustn't lose is only on ITV, of course. As for tonight, West Ham live to fight another day after drawing at home to Stockport County. But no second chance for Arsenal and Spurs. The Gunners concede 4 at Liverpool. Tottenham leaks 6 at Bolton. 10 and out for North London. Bye-bye.